to another Fuzzy Hound Show. Today with us we have Andrea, all the way from Germany. Andrea is the front lead singer from Andy Rock's band. Hello, Andrea, and welcome to our discussion about music, about plans, about everything.
Hi, Dimitris. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
To be here.
Perfect. Shall we start with the band, the Andy Rock's band?
Wish?
Perfect. Just tell me, if you will, when it was created, what was the trigger about the creation, and of course, it is a southern rock band, which is strange, let's say, for from a band of members that comes from Germany.
Well, let me start with how we started. It was after my former band, Black Daffodils, which was a symphonic and melodic metal band, fell apart. I didn't want to stop singing in a band. It took me some time to think about everything, and it was difficult for me because I put very much energy and passion in Black Daffodils, and it was very important for me. So I took a little break, and then after a while I started writing songs again that were not all meant to be metal songs, and I wanted to do more rock music because I started with that, and I always liked that. When I was a teenager, I always sang along with Guns N' Roses, or
obviously, yes.
And then I asked Marcus, who was also drummer in Black Daffodils, if he wanted to join me, and then I asked another friend of mine and some musician friends to help me record the album, because I don't play that much instruments, and I'm not such a gifted player. I'm a songwriter and singer mostly, but not like a studio musician or something. And well, I know a lot of musicians, and so I asked different ones, and that's why different musicians are also playing on the record. And now finally Andreas, also called Andy, is also a guitarist, but now he plays bass in Andy Rocks.
Okay.
And Tony D, they joined me for live and for future songs.
So this is the backbone of the band. Marcus, you, Andreas, and probably another guitarist.
Tony D.
Oh, Tony D. Yes. So this is the backbone. Having said that, I must say that I've heard your first your single of the record. I'm talking about "Get Me a Drink." We are talking about the album "Look at What I've Done," and shall we say that this was your first album with the Andy Rock's band?
Yes.
Are there plans regarding another one?
Not concrete right now, because the album is not very old and we couldn't play it live even because everything was closed. Now they're slowly opening up here in Germany again, but there are still some restrictions, and we will first focus on the next shows and rehearse for that. And I have already written some other songs, but we haven't started working on that. But I think we will someday surely record something new, because why shouldn't we? But there are no concrete plans right now.
Sure, if there are ideas and you are in the progress of doing that, of course you will record at some point. But yes, in general, the same situation goes with Greece. We are starting right now opening venues and places. It was very difficult for every musician that had an album to promote it and to present it actually to the audience. So this was the main difficulty.
Everywhere the same, I guess.
Yes. Let me say again that the album has a very distinct southern sound. I personally adore it due to the fact that I love this kind of music, this old classic southern, this badass music. So it's one of my favorites. And let me paraphrase the name of your band, that for everyone who will listen actually to the album, that Andy will actually rock you. So
thank you very much.
This is what I.
Same for me. I also like this American style. You know, I've listened to a lot of American bands in the past, and fortunately, so did the others who play with me now.
Perfect.
Stone-E.D. loves, for example, Motley Crue, or of course Guns N' Roses, and he even looks a little bit like one of them. And he also, when he plays, is performing like those guys, somehow in his blood. And Andreas also likes the music of the 80s and is very deep in that style. And yes, so that fits perfectly, and I'm happy about that band members now, and it works good.
So everyone is very focused on the style in general. You talked to me about Motley Crue, probably Def Leppard, also Guns N' Roses. Your influences as a person, as a singer, were the same, or did you start from another kind of music, another kind of rock, metal, whatever?
I started with actually Bon Jovi. It was when I was 12 years old when the album These Days came out, and that was the start where I was singing with my hairbrush in my room and so. And then I was looking for different bands in that style, and we talked already about Guns N' Roses and that stuff. And later on, when I joined Black Daffodils, so when we founded this band, we were more focusing on metal. It was first a cover band, so we were always looking for a male singer, but we couldn't ever find one, and so we had to look for bands in that genre that we could cover, and there were not so many well-known bands at that time. It was Nightwish, it was Women Temptation, we did covers of them, or Evanescence. At that time I was practicing a lot of that stuff, but I'm not a classical singer. But I also tried to sing those songs, and I even had 2 years of vocal coaching for that project. And then we started creating our own songs, also more in that style. Yes, but I always also played acoustic guitar and sang for myself, and I loved Sheryl Crow, for example. She's a great musician and also, for me, one of my favorite singers. And I sang along with that, or even a little bit of country singers like Emmylou Harris from the 70s. That has also influenced my singing, I think.
It's all very American, very very much attached to this kind of music. So yes, actually the influences, because many great musicians come from the United States, so they influenced us all. This is the fact. Now, I want to talk about the music scene in Germany. Of course, we have many interesting bands. For example, let me compare it to the Greek music scene. Right now in Greece, during the last 10, maybe more years, maybe 15 years from the recession and afterwards, we have a flourish of new bands. As we Greeks say, if you pick up a rock, then underneath you may see 2 or 3 bands of that hiding. So the music scene right now is booming. this is contradictory with the music places that we have in Greece. So there is a very big difficulty for musicians and artists to go present their music, because there aren't many scenes, many big venues to present them. Talk to me about Germany, about the music scene in Germany. Probably there are many bands, except of the ones that are very, very famous. What is happening right now in Germany?
Yes, it's pretty much the same. When I was a teenager, you could still go out a lot and see, for example, many cover bands in locations where there were still very many visitors in the audience, but then it slowly decreased. And now when you go to the same bands, there are only maybe 100 people, where there were thousands of people before. And so the people are not so much interested in live music than there was before, and that makes it even more difficult for bands with original music, because the people don't know their songs that much, and the clubs have to think about the money they make. Yeah, they cannot. They have to earn money when they open up, and if there comes a local band that is new, for example, the people don't show up. Some show up, but not as many as for the old cover bands, who are actually now, well, they are 50 years old or even older. And it's hard for new bands to get in because of that. And there are also so many bands with original music, and I must say there are many very good bands, but it's very difficult, yes, to get shows or yes, there's sometimes you have to rent a club yourself, and then it costs you also lots of money, and you cannot you don't know how many people will come, and then in the end you don't earn anything, and you pay for everything.
For everything, yes.
That's really difficult. It got even more difficult. We experienced that a lot with Black Daffodils when we started with our own music.
Regarding the bands, because I've also seen some bands from Germany. For example, during this summer there was a band called the Dogwoods from Germany, from Franconia, if I'm not mistaken. I remember their email, and I received their new album. They were astonishing. The sound was perfect, and also I've seen some bands, including yours. There are great things that are happening in Germany right now, but we have the same difficulties with some differences, because, for example, in Greece, they seem to promote new bands. We have, let's say that club owners are much more open receiving a new band to present their songs. Even if they have to be as an opening act, on a bigger band, but it is okay. At the end of the night, you have the opportunity to play. This is so. But you are talking even before the pandemic. This is not a pandemic effect, but it is a general effect in Germany.
Yes, it's a general effect, as we've experienced it. You have some clubs who support new bands, but you have to look for them, and those have then so many bands who are interested, they cannot let everyone play. You have to sometimes go to even little bars or something. But with a rock band or a metal band, as we are, the sound is often not very good if there's a really, really small occasion. Just loud.
Yes.
You know? Yes. But maybe when everything is opening again, this might also be a chance. Maybe there will be new opportunities, and some locations will give new acts more chances. We will see if that happens.
Let's hope for that.
Yes.
Perfect. So you didn't have any time to promote the new album, the existing album, though. So will this be? First of all, will this be the Ladies of Metal, the upcoming festival in which you are participating? Will this be the first live event after the winter lockdown, or did you have other events as well?
It will be the second one. We'll have a show in March here in Germany, and the next is the one in Athens. So we are preparing right now for those shows, and yes, we're really looking forward to that and finally play those songs together on stage. Because when we had our first show, 1 week later there was the lockdown. Then
difficult situation. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
will this be your first time in Greece?
Yes,
So,
it will be. I already bought me a little book about Athens.
Okay.
We will stay some days and
Perfect.
discover the city also, because it looks all very nice. And yes, I think it will be interesting to see all those old buildings in Athens besides the festival, and maybe we can see some nice bars and clubs, or get to know some nice bands.
Perfect.
That's pretty cool.
Perfect. Yes, I think that Athens is a very beautiful city, and I hope that the weather will be okay. At least we have 1 month until then, so I'm hoping that the weather would be much better right now, because today it's actually snowing here in Athens. So
Yes, I heard about that.
it's
On
pretty.
the news it was.
It's pretty cold, and you know that what happens in Greece. Greeks and snow don't go along as well. So last time it snowed, we had many problems. It's not like other countries.
But it will only be a few days, or
No, it actually, this kind of weather actually does not stay that much. Probably 2 or 3 days. But okay, we are talking about April. I think that in April we will probably have at least 20 degrees in Athens. So it will be time for t-shirts, not time for sweaters. So I think that you will be fine, and it's a great opportunity to also explore a new city.
yeah, sounds great.
Talk to me about other live performances in general. This is a very interesting question that I like to know, to make in every singer, in every band, because it's very interesting for me. There are times that during a live performance that you feel empowered by the stage. You feel great. You feel perfect. It is the right moment. Everything is perfect. Is working. And there are times that are not that good. Probably some problems. Probably some sound checks. Anything at all. Looking back at your career with both these bands that you were playing and that you are now playing, could you elaborate on one moment and say that this was the best moment on your live career?
No, not really one moment that was the best. We had a few concerts that were really great when everything was perfect. Good sound, the audience was good. It was, for example, when we were in Brno in the Czech Republic. That was also a similar festival, and Femme Fatale was the name of it. And that was a great audience, a great club, great sound. Then we had a really great gig. I remember it as one of the best. Or one with Black Daffodils was in Nuremberg in Germany. It was Rockfabrik. We were support band for Xandria. And this was also an amazing evening where everything was perfect. It depends mostly on the audience. If they get along and they have fun, then you also have more fun. And of course, it's always the sound. If you have a good sound on stage, then you can act more freely. You don't think, oh, I can't hear myself. No, what am I doing? And we also had it the other way around. I also had, I think I already had everything. I had also gigs where I didn't hear nothing.
Okay, that will be interesting. Okay. So talk to me about the worst times. Yes, talk to me about the worst time. Something happened and screwed up everything. Talk to me about the worst time on stage.
That was in a smaller club. We had a new motu and wanted to do our in-ear monitoring with this. We were there very early, and our bassist at that time set everything up. We made a sound check. Everything was perfect. Then the other bands came. It was big with 3 bands, and they put all their equipment around this motu and set everything. And when we started playing, I could only hear nothing else. Some disturbances. And this was horrible.
Okay.
Horrible, because there were no stage monitors. You could only try to hear yourself through the PA that was very far away, turned in another direction. Behind me, the drums very loud, and it was like going blind.
It happens, yes, it happens.
Now I can laugh, but at that time it was,
Yes, but actually these are the moments that you remember afterwards. The best and the worst moments. Yes, these are the two differences regarding. Perfect. And, of course, I will also say again that you are appearing in Greece for the Ladies of Metal. Are you excited? You told me that you are very excited. Regarding the other bands, have you known anyone of the other girls, of the other front lead singers? Do you know any of the other bands?
Actually, we played with Jaded Star once, because Black Daffodils also had a similar festival back then. Our drummer was the organizer, and there was a tour with Sandria, Serenity, and Jaded Star. And they played on this festival, and we also played because we organized it, of course. So yes, and I remember that they were very kind and a really cool band. Yes, I remember that backstage even I sang a song with the guitarist for fun. I think it was that Take Me Back to My Boat on the River.
Okay. So
yes, that I remember. And the other bands, I don't know them personally. I heard already about Enemy of Reality, and the others are new to me. But it's always cool. When I play at a smaller festival, I always watch the performances of the other bands. Only short before we go on stage and shortly afterwards, for getting ready and cooling down, going backstage a little. But then I also watch the concerts.
It is.
And after all this break, I really want to see some concerts again.
It is a great opportunity, and then you have this place where we will have 5 bands in one day and 5 other bands in another day, so it will be the perfect opportunity for merchandise, perfect opportunity to get to know people and get to know the bands, of course, because Hollywood is a very, very interesting stage. You will have the opportunity to walk among the audience. It will not be that difficult, so the audience will get to know you. Of course, we will have some security regarding. Just kidding. Audiences in Greece are very kind, so don't worry about it. But it will be a great opportunity to get to know all these bands. And actually, from my side, let me say that it will be a great opportunity to get to know all of you when you come to Greece. So I'm very excited and I'm looking forward for it.
Yes, I can tell you this is a very, very kind band. They like to party and rock and rollers.
Okay. I'm also sure about that for you. I will be waiting to also see you and the guys perform at Hollywood. So I'm very excited in general. Perfect. It was great. I think that this was a great conversation. I'm very excited that we had this opportunity to talk, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person also.
Yes, I'm also forward to meet you, and it was very kind talking to you. And we can't wait to come to the festival and have a nice evening with all of you. So I hope there will be many people coming and rocking along with us and the other bands.
Perfect. And let me tell once again that the audience that will be checking this interview afterwards, that if you come at Hollywood, Andy will rock you.
Yes, I will rock you. Andy Rocks will rock you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.